If you are a new hunter and this is your first deer season, these are 5 essential tips that are going to get you ready for your first deer season and help you tag a nice deer. I'm going to assume that you guys have already have, 1, got your license and your tags, 2, taking a hunter's safety course. I'm not even going to talk about that. You guys already know that's the first thing you guys should be doing. If you're already So tip number 1 is going to be find land. All right, you can do that either by looking up public land on Google, getting on Onyx and turning on the overlays and seeing what is public land, what state land, federal land, depending on where you're going to be able to hunt. If you have access to some private land, like if you have a family member that has a few acres for you, and you've seen deer on that property, hit them up. See if they'll let you hunt it. You can also try knocking on doors and asking for permission. That is a little difficult, especially for people that are newer hunters. I usually start with the Google search, just public land near me, public hunting land near me, hunting land near me, different stuff like that. Look up a hunting group on Facebook for your area. Look up WMAs, find out WMAs. Just all you gotta do is get on your local wildlife management for your state page and look up the WMAs, and it'll tell you where they are. So that's how you find public land. What do you do once you find some public land? First you're gonna want to scout. I usually start with some sort of an app. I use Onyx. There's other apps out there. You can use Google Maps, I guess, if you really want to. But I really like Onyx because you have the good overlay of the land itself. It'll kind of tell you the boundaries of that land. You can highlight some trails. You can do other stuff like set waypoint. I like to do a very intensive map recon of the area I want to hunt, especially if it's a new area and I've not been there yet. Once I've done my map recon, I've kind of found my pinch points, my water sources, my access point, kind of did some rough terrain analysis, get in my truck, drive out to that WMA and put boots on the ground. That's the number 1 key, boots on the ground. All right, I like to walk that land, especially during the off season where, you're not going to really disturb anyone else's hunt. You're not going to disturb the wildlife as much, especially if it's like an area that, just try to get out there, walk that land, make sure you're doing it legally, look up the regulations. A lot of times at those WMAs, they're going to have signs posted. It'll tell you the hunting rules there. So look for those. Make sure if you need to check in on that area, you check in. Just follow the rules. That's tip number 1, is definitely finding your land, scouting your land, and getting good knowledge base of where you're going to hunt. Tip number 2 is to prep your gear and your equipment. Remember, you guys ain't got to break the bank. You ain't got to get the top of the line and stuff. But I do recommend you get some decent quality gear to find out how you're going to hunt. Are you gonna stalk the animal? Are you gonna climb up into a tree? Are you gonna take out a ground blind? You need to figure those things out well in advance. You also need to find out what weapon system you're gonna choose. For me, I like to shoot a bow. So I like to get my bow ready. Prep your equipment. Make sure your equipment is in a good serviceable order. Make sure it's safe. Do some more research on what you need. Some essentials I would recommend for new hunters, kind of like on a budget, would be 1, your weapon, your ammunition. All right, you shooting a bow? Are you going to shoot? What kind of arrows are you going to shoot? Are you shooting a rifle? What caliber are you going to shoot? Figure that stuff out right away. How are you gonna hunt? Are you gonna get a climber? Are you gonna invest into a saddle, or are you gonna hunt off the ground? If so, figure that stuff out right now. Write it down. Make a list. You're gonna need a rangefinder if you're. I'd recommend a rangefinder for anybody. You don't have to get an expensive rangefinder. Go get like a $60 one off Amazon. That's what I did. I've been rocking that thing for like 4 years now, actually. Your clothing, make sure your clothing's good. Make sure, you ain't just going out there in blue jeans. There's always that old dude that says, I smack them in blue jeans, smoking a marble red every single weekend. Yeah, shooting deer off the back of your porch when you throw corn out there, I bet you that's one thing. You ain't got to go get some expensive top brand hunting equipment. Go to Walmart. You can get anything you need to go out and shoot a deer at Walmart, including a bow. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. You're going to want to obviously eventually upgrade from there, because everybody gets trapped in the sport of hunting, and you just invest more. You expect to save money, but that's not happening. Essential gear that I recommend anybody take out there is going to be just in your pack. All right, get a nice little backpack. Ain't gonna be nothing crazy. Don't make it some bright color. I just get like a solid color backpack. It'd be like a brown or a tan, or find a cheap camo one from Walmart. You want a headlamp. You want a knife, so that way whenever you harvest animal, you can field dress it. You're gonna want your tags in there and your hunting license, obviously. You're gonna want to have your rangefinder, some ammunition. You're going to want to have an extra release if you're a bow hunter. Maybe take some toilet paper with you, not only just in case you gotta poop in the woods, but if you shoot a deer and you gotta kind of track that deer, you can use that toilet paper and then use it to start tracking that deer. I mean, they have other products as well, but toilet paper is one that I always take out with me. Make sure you get like a good water bottle of some sort so you have some water. Take some snacks out there. A good pair of boots is going to keep you hunting a lot more comfortable and a lot more longer and increase your odds of harvesting an animal, especially on those cold winter days. All right, tip number 3, marksmanship. Practice shooting your chosen weapon. For me, I shoot a bow, so during the summer, I'm always out there. Like, I just bought a brand new bow. The dude says, hey, bring this back to me after you shoot 1,000 arrows out of it so that way I can retune it. I've had that thing for 2 weeks. And I'm getting ready to go drop it off to him because I've shot well over 1,000 arrows out of that bow. So make sure you practice during the off season. Tune in your equipment, tune in your shooting, find out what arrows shoot well, and shoot from elevated positions, especially if you hunt from a saddle or a climber or any other type of elevated hunting platform. Make sure you shoot from an elevated position. It doesn't matter if you shoot from a rock. Practice shooting at various distance, at various positions, at various height, and at various angles, so that way when that hard shot comes, you are ready to do stress shooting. In my training, I like to do some sort of a physical activity, get my heart rate going, and make some difficult shots. What that does, it simulates you shooting in a high stress, high pressure, adrenaline pumping environment. So that way when you get there, that's not the first time you're not trying to, catch your breath because your heart rate's going so fast. All right, learn to control your heart rate, control your breathing, and make those shots. All right. If you make hard shots out in practice, the easy shots are going to come when you're out hunting. Tip number 4 is to be patient. It's not going to come as easily as you see it does on the Outdoor Channel. That's just not the reality. Even those people that are, on the Outdoor Channel, all they're doing is out there waiting. All right, they're out scouting. Hunting takes a lot of work and effort that you got to put into it, and a lot of time. And you got to be patient on it. And it will come. Make sure you learn from your mistakes. You go out there. Let's say you spook a deer or something. What did you do wrong? Write that thing down in the notebook. That's what I like to do. That helps me improve. Keep track of not only your failures but your successes. Tip number 5 is going to be a simple one. Find a mentor. I should have said that. Maybe that should have been tip number 1, but I wanted to go to the other stuff. If I just say find a mentor in the beginning, people are just going to be like, yeah, no shit, what do you think I'm doing right here? All right, find a mentor, whether it's online, but I prefer finding somebody, locally around you, whether it's a relative or a family member, close friend, family friend, or whatever it is. Maybe you get on a Facebook group, reach out to some people. I've done that a lot, man. Like when I went out turkey hunting for the first time, I've never been turkey hunting. I reached out, I was like, hey, anybody have any tips on turkey hunting? This dude literally was like, hey brother, come out scouting with me. He showed me, not only that, he set me down, showed me how to do some turkey calls. He gave me a box call. He invested in me because he was that great of a hunter. And not only that, but just that great of a sportsman that he wanted to make sure that somebody coming new into like that sport or that form of hunting, they were doing it right and they weren't doing it unethically. He taught me how to do it. He taught me that, kind of like just the what's and what nots to do. So that's hoping what I'm doing with this channel is to help out other people. Believe it or not, like I think maybe a couple weeks after that, maybe not even that long, maybe a week or 2, I ended up shooting my first turkey with the call that he gave and doing the tactics that he showed me how to do when we were out scouting. Like this dude called in 8 turkey when we were out scouting. So, I give, that was my turkey hunting experience right there. And I fell in love with turkey hunting right then and there because I had somebody that taught me how to do it the right way and it made it fun. And I was successful. Being successful right away like that is just not every turkey hunt went like that. All right, it just didn't. That gave me the confidence and the ability for me to go out on my own and apply those tactics that he showed me and have my best chances of harvesting a turkey. So that's what I hope to do. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys comment below what your thoughts, if you have any other tips for these guys or if you have tips yourself to put into it. Or any questions, make sure you guys comment below, interact with the channel. It helps out the YouTube algorithm to help me get discovered a little bit more, to reach more people and help out other people. Make sure you hit that like button, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I appreciate you watching the whole video.